Hey guys, have you been looking for a meal provider and feeling completely overwhelmed about the amount of providers out there? Well, I'm here to try and make your decision a little bit easier. My name's Sarah, I'm a nutritionist, and I am going to compare 3 leading meal providers in the fitness, body composition enhancing space. So the 3 I'm going to review today are MACROS, My Muscle Chef, and Workout Meals. So these 3 providers have certainly made a name for themselves, and they all have a really similar aim, and that's supporting you to reach your goals, whether that's to increase your lean muscle mass, to drop some kilos, to maintain your weight, or to enhance your performance. Now, there are a few things that I look for when I look for a meal provider, and that's really the ingredients, the macronutrient balance, and also, of course, the taste. These are kind of 3 really important things. So I'm going to compare these providers based on those topics. So when it comes to ingredients, what I'm looking for is a meal that has more whole food ingredients and less of those lab-made ingredients and artificial ingredients or ingredients that I can't pronounce. So whole food ingredients that are close to their natural form as possible. Out of these 3 providers, Workout Meals and MACROS probably had a cleaner meals. Having said that, the Workout Meals don't actually go into complete detail about their ingredients on their label. So for example, they may have coconut milk, but they actually don't break it down into what is made up of that for that coconut milk. So that's something to keep in mind. But across the board, MACROS and Workout Meals have less artificial stuff and more whole foods. When it comes to MACROS, starting with protein, My Muscle Chef had the greater emphasis on protein, and MACROS meals were lacking in protein compared to the 2 providers. That would depend also again on what type of meal you choose and what type of plan. When it comes to carbohydrates, particularly refined carbohydrates, they all were reducing those or eliminating, which was great. The Workout Meals probably had the most variety of those very low carbohydrates, which you could include in a keto style diet if that's the plan that you were looking to go for. The fat content of the meals was pretty on par with all 3 providers, and this is really because the meals that I chose were all that lower calorie, and remember that fat is quite high in calories per gram, and also you've got to consider that these meal providers are keeping these meals at a affordable price. Quality fat products can be a little bit more expensive. Now, across the board, the fiber was also down on all 3 providers. So I would be recommending that you either focus on adding fiber-rich meals outside of these on your day-to-day, or increase the fiber content of these meals by adding a lentil salad or some leafy steamed greens, or putting some nuts and seeds into the meal. So that's something to consider to make sure that you are getting your recommended daily fiber intake. This is going to help with weight loss if that's your goal. It's going to help with digestive health and to reduce some of those disease risks like cardiovascular disease and colon cancer, for example. Fiber also helps keep you fuller, which is a bonus, particularly if you're reducing your portion size and overall calories. Now, the other nutrient that I did see that was different across the board was sodium. So My Muscle Chef may have been quite tasty, but also really high in sodium. So one of the meals was over 1,200 milligrams of sodium in there. This is really important to consider if you're going to make these your everyday meals. You're going to have to really consider the amount of sodium you're consuming outside of these meals in the day. So there you have it in terms of those nutrition points. They do differ, but a lot are the same. Now with the service, that's also really important because we know that these are convenient meal providers. We want to make sure that they deliver on their promise. So yes, they are all very convenient. So they all three offer a subscription-based model. So meaning you can order and forget about it and you get the meals weekly delivered to you at your doorstep. The only one that didn't allow you to order just say a minimum spend of meals rather than a subscription was MACROS. Having said that, the subscriptions are all able to be cancelled after you've ordered your first month. So if you just want to try it or you tried a couple of times and find out it's not for you, you can just deactivate, pause or cancel your subscription. With the cost, the cheapest was MACROS meals per meal and also just based on the plan. And the most expensive was the Muscle Chef meals. Now keep in mind that some of these are much bigger than the macro meals. So you might get 160 grams more of food. So all in all, it probably evens out a little bit. Also, one thing to keep in mind in terms of the service and what they offer is, are there any add-ons? Do they offer a plan that is a better fit for you, or do they offer additional information that can help you reach your goals? In this case, workout meals have that addition of the WM360 program. If you've seen my review just solely on this meal, I go into a little bit of detail about why that might be helpful for you. But just a summary, it includes advice from a personal trainer, nutritionist, and also the meals. I mean, this is probably a really good addition if you are trying to work towards some sort of body transformation or fitness goal. Now, all important taste. What's the verdict? So the MACROS was probably the most disappointing. It was mushy. There was lack of flavor. I actually did not find these appealing at all with the taste. I didn't not eat them, like they were very edible, but they just weren't enjoyable. Probably in terms of flavor was the My Muscle Chef. This came at the expense of having high sodium, right? So more salt, more Worcestershire sauce, soy sauce. Of course, that's going to have an effect on the flavor. But these were probably more enjoyable when it came to flavor and also texture. They felt like you were having an actual meal rather than a microwave TV dinner. Okay, so which provider would I choose for myself or recommend to my clients? Well, all three do work towards supporting you in your health goals, whether that's to lose weight or gain muscle, or just to eat meals rather than skip them. So that's all a positive. I guess one thing I do want to stress is that it's not individualized, even though they do have some plans that enable you to put your gender in there and also your exercise level. It's only individualized to a certain point. So if you're looking for a quick fix, these guys aren't guaranteeing you're going to get these results, and no provider will. Now, I also want to stress that I have no affiliation with these providers. This is an unbiased view. It's just my view after experiencing it for the week and what I know from a nutrition point of view. But the one I would recommend to clients who are looking for maybe the convenience of some meals that could work in with their treatment plan is the workout meals. This is because they predominantly use whole food flavors. They are reducing those refined carbohydrates and swapping them for things like veggies. They are including a good quality portion of protein. And also, I really believe that WM360 is an added bonus on their services that they're offering, particularly for those who perhaps can't afford or don't want to engage a personal trainer or a nutritionist to help them on their journey. So there you have it. That's my review. If you'd like to read it in detail, you can jump on mealprep.com.au. And if you've tried these providers or any providers on mealprep.com.au, make sure you leave a review. It's great for others to see what other people think. And maybe you disagree with me on this one. I'd love to hear your thoughts.